Look who pulled up for a catch-up. It's Zweli here from 947 Afternoons. And if you're here, it means you've got taste. Go ahead, enjoy the moment you missed. But don't ghost me. Weekdays, 12 to 3 p.m. on 947. I'm loud and way more fun in real time. And yeah, there's more audio magic waiting for you right here on Prime Media Plus.
Move to the music.
All the way home. 947 Drive with Tando.
So earlier on today, South Africa's Constitutional Court handed down a landmark ruling that could significantly reshape the country's asylum system. They found that asylum seekers whose applications have already been finally rejected cannot repeatedly submit new applications while they are in South Africa.
So I'm assuming back then you'd come into the country, apply for asylum,
then you just wait.
say no, and you'd hang out in South Africa while it's being reviewed.
Yeah, so you'd wait and then you'd reapply. And I mean, again, at the center of this ruling is a question of repeat asylum applications. Legally speaking, what it exactly means, this ConCourt ruling. Joining us now on the line is Minister of Home Affairs, Dr. Leon Schreiber. Thank you so much for speaking with us, Minister. But what does this ConCourt ruling actually mean?
Well, it's great to be with you and the listeners.
And we've been trying forever, Minister, to get you on the show.
Good. 6 months. You must just keep pushing. So, I mean, this case was brought by Home Affairs as an appeal against an earlier ruling from the Supreme Court of Appeal. And it was argued in November last year, where we submitted to the court that it is incorrect that asylum seekers whose original applications have been rejected are able to have multiple bites at the cherry, essentially, so that you can effectively abuse that system to remain in the country indefinitely on the basis of repeat applications. This case stems from two nationals from Burundi who had effectively tried to do that. And they've argued that circumstances changed in their home country while they were in South Africa. And we are very excited about the ConCourt agreeing with us that it is untenable for a system to be abused in that manner. And going forward, it's going to make for a much more efficient processing of these kind of applications.
So if I'm an asylum seeker currently in South Africa with a rejected application, what does that mean for me? Does it mean I face deportation?
Yes, that's what it means. It means that if you are trying to basically have multiple bites at the cherry after your application has expired, that you are not actually able to do that. And I do want to point out that this comes in the context of broader work that we're doing. So there's this victory in the Constitutional Court, but there's also the recently cabinet-approved revised white paper on citizenship, immigration, and refugee protection, where we also introduced the concept of the first safe country principle, which actually links in a way with this ruling. This ruling says that South Africa cannot have a free-for-all situation. The Constitutional Court explicitly says that you cannot actually overwhelm Home Affairs by allowing constant applications. You can imagine the administrative burden, and the court warns that this could create chaos. And we are very grateful that we were able to make our case in this regard. But secondly, when it comes to the white paper, we are also saying not only should you not having a constant revolving door of applications, you should also not be able to pick and choose South Africa as your only destination within the region. There are many safe countries around us. And I think if you put all these things together, you're starting to see the reform that we are driving.
So, Minister, what is the current situation now? So if I'm coming into South Africa as an asylum seeker, I just get to the border, say I'm here as an asylum seeker and I'm in the country.
Look, the constitutional provisions remain in place. So the legal provisions are also still there. You are able to submit a claim for asylum or refugee status. That will then get processed in the same legal manner that is in place. You'll have the right to appeal. So it's an exhaustive process. You can't just make it up. We have to do that job properly, and we have to do it more efficiently as Home Affairs. But once that process has concluded, and if you are unsuccessful, then you must actually go back to your home country. You cannot then say that I'm allowed to stay in South Africa in perpetuity because I'm just going to keep applying over and over for years to come.
But Minister, practically, what does that look like now for asylum seekers who have been here and abusing the system, like you say, for years on end? How do we then, what's Home Affairs going to do to try get them to be removed back to their own countries, or should I say deported?
Yeah, let me just say firstly, of course, there are genuine refugees. So we mustn't lose sight of the fact that there are people who do qualify for refugee status, and those processes remain in place, and we will continue to uphold what the law and the Constitution requires of us in those cases. But when it specifically comes to people who have actually now been relying on this kind of provision, it is indeed now possible for us to do enhanced law enforcement in this regard. So you would have seen over the last 2 years, we've already increased the number of deportations by 46% compared to 2023. So we've had over 110,000 deportations in the last 2 years from people who were in the country. And the BMA has prevented about another 500,000 people from entering the country. So what we're now able to do is to broaden the scope of our law enforcement work, where we're then able to say, if there are applications sitting with our asylum seeker system, which now no longer should be entertained because of this constitutional court judgment, we can speed up the processing and ultimately, as you say, enforce the law, including deportation.
We also have to mention, the timing of this ruling, right? There's heightened political tension around immigration in South Africa. Do you think a judgment like this will reshape public sentiment around migration?
I think the reality is that as far as Home Affairs is concerned, as far as government is concerned, there's a heck of a lot of work that is actually going on. And I think it's important for us to recognize that this judgment didn't just fall from the sky. It was Home Affairs that actually argued that we cannot continue in this manner. It's also Home Affairs and the entire cabinet that produced the white paper that's going to actually relieve the kind of pressures that we're facing. It's Home Affairs that's implementing the electronic travel authorization system that we're going to use to get biometrics, facial recognition, fingerprints for everyone who enters South Africa when they come from a foreign country. So I think the debate has neglected the enormous amount of work that has actually been done under this administration over the last 2 years, and that's yielding tangible improvements, including what I've mentioned now in terms of deportations, law enforcement, and building systems that actually are less vulnerable to fraud and corruption through the use of technology. So I think it's important for us to recognize that. Secondly, of course, the Constitutional Court's judgment or timing of its judgments is its own business. But I think it's important that it comes by coincidence, I suppose, in a moment where we have seen this debate, because what it does is it reinforces that we must be guided by the rule of law. So at Home Affairs, what we are saying, we don't deport people because we hate them. We also don't turn a blind eye to people coming illegally into the country because the law requires us to enforce deportations and consequences. So this case is important because it shows our Constitution is capable, when we follow the correct processes, when we adhere to the rule of law and uphold the Constitution, we're actually able to get judgments that strengthen our hand and enable us to do better law enforcement. Unfortunately, there has been a bit of a push from some people to even scapegoat the Constitution for some of these problems. Today's case really proves that upholding the Constitution is the way to go, but we must do our job properly as we move forward.
Minister, thank you so much for your time. That's Minister of Home Affairs, Dr. Leon Schreiber.
Move to the music.
All the way home. 947 Drive with Tando.